Welcome. My name is Peter Strong. I'm a professional psychotherapist and I offer online therapy via Skype for the treatment of anxiety and depression and addictions, and also for the treatment of agoraphobia. So if you're looking for online treatment for agoraphobia, where you can get your treatment at home, don't have to leave home, then do please go to my website and learn more about this online therapy service. It's very effective if you use Skype, which is what I offer, because then you can see each other. And if you can see each other, there's no difference in effectiveness, really, between meeting a therapist in an office or meeting them online. You have to be able to see each other. That's the main point. So in the style of psychotherapy that I offer for the treatment of anxiety and agoraphobia, you'll be learning how to change the relationship that you have with your emotions. This is what is most central. The real problem that feeds anxiety and keeps it from healing and prevents you recovering from anxiety is to do with how you relate to your anxiety and other emotions. We tend to react to our unpleasant emotions. We don't like them, we push them away, and we get involved in avoidance behaviors so that we don't have to experience the anxiety. So this is a real problem. We have to learn how to change that relationship, because if you react to your anxiety, that reactivity prevents it healing. It's only when you can establish a conscious and compassionate or open relationship with your anxiety that anxiety is able to heal. So that is a central focus in the style of psychotherapy that I teach online, which is called mindfulness therapy. So when we're working with agoraphobia, we look actively for these anxiety reactions and the triggers that trigger those anxiety reactions, and then we learn to develop a conscious relationship with them where we remain as the observer. This is what stops us from becoming identified with the anxiety, and it also neutralizes those blind habitual patterns of reactivity towards the anxiety that feed it. So we have to learn how to sit with the anxiety without reacting. And we do this by learning how to meditate on our anxiety. Meditation means learning to be present with the mind, with mindfulness, with full conscious awareness. Learning to see your emotions directly without becoming lost in blind conditioned reactivity. Learning to see those reactions clearly without becoming lost in those reactions. The more that you see things clearly, the more conscious you become, the freer you become from the influence of those habitual reactions. When you stop identifying or reacting, then you stop feeding the anxiety. When you stop feeding the anxiety, it begins to heal quite naturally. It will heal very much in the same way that a wound in the body would heal if you allow it to heal naturally. If you respond to that wound with awareness and compassion, then that wound will heal quickly. So anxiety is very much like an emotional wound. It is prevented from healing by our reactivity. But once we remove that reactivity and develop a relationship based on compassion or mindfulness, then the anxiety will heal in the same way. It's already programmed to heal itself. It is trying to heal. It's just the reactivity that stops it healing. So we train with our emotions. We train to overcome this habit of reactivity and to facilitate the healing of those emotions. This works extremely well. It's much, much more effective than simply talking about your feelings, which of course is a very indirect way of building a direct conscious relationship with your emotions. Talking about your feelings has some usefulness, but it doesn't really build that inner relationship with those emotions that is necessary for them to heal. Medications are not recommended because they certainly do not heal anything at the psychological level. Medications may reduce symptoms, but they do not heal anything psychologically. So you remain vulnerable to those psychological habits. So mindfulness is about directly changing it at the core level by bringing mindful attention to your anxiety. We do this by meditating on it. So I will teach you how to do this, and you'll see very quickly how effective this is. It's really quite surprising once you start to become aware of this blind, conditioned reactivity that keeps you a prisoner. Once you become aware of that, then change becomes possible very quickly, and you can rapidly break free from those reactive habits that keep you a prisoner of your anxiety. So typically we go about overcoming agoraphobia by designing a series of challenges, exposure challenges, and we work through this list very systematically every day in a disciplined way. But we train before we do each of the challenges. We might imagine doing the challenge in order to find the anxiety reactions, and then we train with those anxiety reactions to heal them, so that we can then imagine doing the challenge without any anxiety. Then we go and do the exposure challenge, and that will reinforce our learning. After successfully doing the first challenge, you move on to the second challenge, and so on. And this is a very practical and very focused way to overcome anxiety and panic attacks. It's about training. It's all about training. Mindfulness meditation is a way of training with the mind, with those anxiety reactions and the associated reactive thoughts that feed the anxiety. So we work through our list systematically. This is called mindfulness-based exposure therapy. It's by far the most effective way of working with agoraphobia, and you can do so from home. You don't have to leave home to go to see a therapist. you can get your sessions at home, and I will guide you through the process. You can even do exposure challenges during your sessions. With the advent of smartphones, we can go out together and put this training into practice. So if you'd like to learn more about how to overcome agoraphobia using mindfulness therapy, and you'd like to schedule Skype therapy sessions from home, then please contact me and let's get started on your recovery process. This treatment plan is very effective for overcoming agoraphobia. Most people see huge improvements within a couple of weeks. Once you start putting these methods into practice, you'll rapidly see progress. So please contact me and let's schedule a Skype therapy session. Thank you.